Welcome back to the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Rain FA Jamaica Premier League action on this Monday afternoon between Vere United and Waterhouse. We get ready for the recent head-to-head. Of course, this fixture has been rather one-sided. Waterhouse getting the better of Vere United on so many occasions. We start from the bottom. Waterhouse 2-0 and 1-0 winners in that season. Last year, they also did the double over Vere, 1-0 and a 2-1. And this season in November, 4-1 winners over Vere, where Javine Brown, the player to watch, had a hat-trick in that encounter. Jaheim Dorman rounded it off, and only Javier Brown getting the consolation for Vere United. That's the recent head-to-head. Yeah, Waterhouse, as they're affectionately called, Firehouse as well, expecting to continue on what has been a one-sided tilt in their favor. We go all the way back to 2016 for the only time in the league that Vere United would have exacted some dominance over Waterhouse, and that was a 1-0 win, 3-0, I beg your pardon, win. So that's some 7 years ago. And yeah, Vere hasn't really had their number whatsoever. The shot of the substitutes for Vere United in 10th position in the table at the moment, and having ambitions, I'm sure, of climbing up in the table, but they must break the streak of not scoring. 400 minutes without scoring a goal. They had an own goal in all of those minutes, but that won't count, would it? Dean Smith, your commentator, with me, Christopher Taylor. And Chris, more of the same should we expect, or can there be something change?
Yeah, I just think they're heading in the wrong direction in the table when you look at them. 10th currently, just 5 wins from 17. But 4 losses in their last 5 games, and that must be really disturbing for Linford Dixon, as he said, just conceding needless goals. I think their confidence is really low. And then, as you said, when you look in this fixture, 2016, when they were under the name Jamalco, the last time they executed a win, that 3-0 win. Since that, no wins at all, 9 wins to Waterhouse and 2 draws as well. So this is a fixture that Waterhouse will come in here with a lot of confidence, even though they themselves have had mixed results over the last few weeks. Only 2 wins in their last 5 matches, up and down. There have been some losses and some draws in there as well. So not the most confident Waterhouse, but I think based on history, they will come in here favourites for sure, and feeling that they have what it takes to execute yet another victory. And of course, with the top scoring, high-flying Javine Bryan, who is big in confidence, I think that will be an added boost for the blue and yellow.
Waterhouse in the blue and yellow, and Vere, of course, as Chris would have mentioned earlier, once called Jamalco FC, from the parish of Clarendon, certainly a football-crazy parish, have produced quite a lot of quality. And personally, I still remember Hazard in that time when they ruled the roost. And of course, Clarendon doing well. Here's the officials for this encounter out at Hamilton. The woman with the whistle, Keneal Wright and Rickton Archer. The assistants, Carvel Banton, the 4th official. The captains, Javier Brown and Kemar Foster. We have the coin toss. Kemar Foster, all smiles as they go through their final conversations, the team of officials. But let's have a quick look at the lineup for Vere United. Roger Williams in goal, Javier Brown, Kemar Beckford, Matt Ludford, Nathaniel Howe, Alwyn Strawn, Lamar Neal, Javon Smith, Dunstan Cohen, the under-20 invitee, O'Dane Murray, Damian Thomas. They're coached by Linval Dixon.
Yeah, and this is how they will shape up as well, playing in a 4-3-3. And yeah, Justin Cohen coming back into the starting lineup, that would add and boost the youngster. But yeah, Javier Brown and Lamar Neal, who partners so well with Javier Brown. I love to see when both the number 7 and number 8 play together, the experienced Neal, and he is back in that lineup as well. I think that would be a big deal for their team. And O'Dane Murray here on loan from Mount Pleasant, he will add a boost on that right-hand side.
Here's a look at the Waterhouse lineup. Kemar Foster in goal, Shamari Dallas, Andre Fletcher, Elvis Wilson, Christopher Matthews, Leonardo Thomas, Navarro Blair, Leonardo Jimison, Shamar Booth, Javane Brown, the 10-goal man this season. Rivaldo Mitchell, they're coached by Marcel Gale.
Yeah, they as well will be playing with a 4-3-3 formation. Christopher Matthews comes into that back line because, yeah, there is no Keithy Simpson, the experienced centre-back. He is missing as well. No Damian Binns, so a couple of players coming in. Blair as well. And, yeah, Jibison, Thomas and Booth in the middle of the park. Great to see the width. And Rivaldo Mitchell, he is in good form as well. 2 goals in 3 games for Rivaldo Mitchell. He'll take part on the left-hand side, and of course Andre Fletcher, who's been in good form with Brian. Their link-up play excellent, and that is where I think Waterhouse have the advantage in terms of what they have to offer at the attacking side of things. Fletcher with 6 goals and Brian with 10, I think is a big deal, and with a Mitchell finding form, so talented Rivaldo Mitchell over the years, and it's great to see him adding some goals to that. That is what Vere could really do with some of.
New formation being used by Waterhouse. Of course, they once did 4-4-2, more using the spine, but they've used wing players throughout this season. As we see kickoff here with the possession at the early stages, trying to thread that one through.
One of the things I will say is that I think defensively Waterhouse will be a little bit weaker. No Keithy Simpson, yes, older now, but his experience, what he brings to that back line. And no Damian Binns, 2 of the more experienced defensive players. And that's something that will, well, hopefully Vere will look to exploit, that there are a couple players in that lineup who are not as experienced, and maybe an opportunity for them to create some more chances.
Throwing for Waterhouse, taken quickly. Navarro Blair trying to poke it forward for Mitchell. High boot that from Javane Bryan. Mouthing that he didn't touch Damian Thomas there. It's a free kick for Vere. And Roger Williams, certainly not very often you see a goalkeeper getting consecutive man of the match awards. He had that distinction early in the season, Roger Williams, for Vere. But, well, obviously he likes goalkeepers. Send that one directly to Kemar Foster on the other end. Here's Waterhouse in possession. Played out of touch. It's another throw-in for Vere. Fletcher there using some guide, but tripped. And the call goes the way of Waterhouse, taking the kick quickly. And you can see the crosswind there as we see the flag influence in that ball. Linval Dixon, Rudy, his nickname from yesteryear.
Played with that Hazard team that you mentioned years ago. Also played overseas in the US. There's Marcel Gale, who did lead this Waterhouse team a couple of seasons ago to the preliminary win, if you want to say. They were leaders at the end of the first round, fell away in the playoffs when he had to go on under 20 duties with the national team. And yet they ended up finishing 4th. So he knows what it's like at this point in the season to execute favorable results, to get those big 3 points and push himself up the table, stay in the playoff areas, and as I said, to win the preliminary round. So I think he'll still be confident that he has what it takes, even though, well, he's sitting in 6th position, is it? 7th, just outside of the playoff spots at the moment, but a chance to go right back in if he does get a victory here today. So yeah, problem for Waterhouse is that their results, as I said, has just been up and down. Yesterday they produce a good match and then they go right back.
All the way down, yeah. Here's Blair. Stripped of possession, trying hard to get it back, but Vere United able to go the other way. Both teams not as settled as I'm sure either coaching staff would want them to be. Waterhouse, of course, marginally ahead in terms of keeping the ball, but most of that in their own half. Blair there under some amount of duress, gets it away. Denardo Thomas with a good take, trying to turn.
Critical for him to have a good game today, Denardo Thomas. A lot of the creativity will be coming from him, especially with Nicoy Christian out of the squad as well. So 3 senior players we've mentioned not there. And Denardo Thomas this season been hot and cold to me, but when he has a good game, as I say, Waterhouse tend to do well.
Yeah, when he's hot, he's really hot.
Yeah. And I like the fact that he'll be playing more within the middle of the park. We will get more touches. Don't think he's a real wide player, Denardo Thomas.
Good that Mitchell has come of age really in this Waterhouse setup. Of course, we'd have seen in some instances where he would have been playing as the right winger. So Mitchell replacing him. Here's that ball straight to the goalkeeper. Ground goes all the way back to Ludford, and Ludford gets the return ball now. Under some amount of pressure, gets it to the keeper. Damian Thomas now on the ball for Vere. Ball played forward, but Waterhouse defense will take possession of that one. Throw and taken by Waterhouse. But yeah, not the kind of fluency that we want to see, but let's see how they manage to get their rhythm going. That one played out of touch. And again, it's a kick for Vere United, a goal kick. Actually, it's a corner kick. Got a deflection there. Vere United having to defend now. Fletcher, the 6-goal man. Let's see how he delivers. Does short. Turning well is Mitchell, trying to get it across. Wins another corner kick. Sent in the area once more. Came off Javon Smith inadvertently. It's another corner kick, third in a row for Waterhouse. Can they capitalize on it? Denardo Thomas behind this one.
Yeah, that delivered before that just a little bit too deep though. Not adjusting well to the wind. Let's see. That wasn't bad towards the near post.
Almost giving some dangerous moments there, and it's another corner kick. Had to be played out by Nathaniel Howe. So 4 in a row. Can this one be the lucky number for Waterhouse in the 9th minute of this encounter? Fletcher listed in the area. Roger Williams breaks that sequence and plays it out for Vere. But now in possession of Waterhouse once more. Here they come. Jibison stabbing it forward for Fletcher. Fletcher gets it. Denardo Thomas wanted that one, but it was Played out by Mitchell. Still in possession is Waterhouse. Good work. Getting it in the area. Mitchell had to swing that from the chest, but seemed to have gotten a deflection again. They're lining up for another corner kick.
That was really unreasonable from Gibbison, that delivery into the air, and nailed the pass. Let's look at this here from Gibbison. What did he expect Mitchell to do with that? Drilled it at his chest. And he, well, I'm glad he's okay, Rivaldo Mitchell, but did well, I think, to even
attempt
that chest finish, but I think that was asking way too much.
Here's the captain Brown in possession for Vere. Turning his Beckford. Possession lost as Waterhouse now able to play it forward, but they give it away as well. Still with Vere. Goes for the shot. Always high and wide from Javon Smith.
Came in the transfer window, Smith. 2 goals already on the season. And yeah, Vere United, though, as you said, now 411 minutes since they have last scored a goal. Did get an own goal against Tivoli in that 2-1 loss. But in terms of their scoring, 410 minutes. I would think by now they've probably forgotten how to score.
Christopher Matthews trying to work out the technique. Of course, that ball out of touch. And it's a throw in for Vere. Here's Brown, the captain. Almost gave it away there. Here's Valdo Mitchell trying to get in the air. Does some turns. Gets a shot off. Was tame in the end, and Roger Williams able to hold on to it. At all the cornrows did Rivaldo Mitchell. Plotting very neatly. Look at that. And again, what good defensive work from Javier Brown to take away the sting from the shot.
Yeah, was under pressure, just put his foot there, and I think Mitchell actually ended up kicking it. But always been very skillful, Mitchell. I know that he's gaining confidence in terms of his goal scoring. I think he's even a bigger threat from that wide area. Gets past players very easily, Mitchell.
Doing well on the defensive end on that occasion. Here's Thomas now. Not the quickest, but not a slow play either, is Thomas. Booth back to Thomas. Under some pressure there. Being fouled up by Nathaniel Howe, who I must say has put on a few inches since his days. Since I last saw him as a schoolboy. Couldn't believe that he was the same player. Well, they certainly early, taking the early drive, Mount Pleasant, and getting ready for the second matchup. Here's Fletcher, loses possession, but it comes still in the area, played away. It's a corner kick, unable to control. That's Nathaniel Howe. 6th corner for Waterhouse. Still none for Vere. Fletcher. Cut out. Played up. Looks to be Howe. Make that Beckford, rather. Brown. Sending it the way of Cohen. Cohen trying to whip it across. Played it out. He's actually off the player. Getting a corner kick there first of the encounter, Vere United. Dunstan Cohen behind this one. Low, but good turn and great save by Kemar Foster. Oh, what a shot it was. Instinctive from Adane Murray, but what a great reflex from Kemar Foster. He really had to pull that one out. It would have been buried, Chris Taylor.
Yeah, that corner should never have come across. Poor defending from a Waterhouse perspective. Cohen not getting it cleanly, and yeah, that was weak defending. Came to Murray.
Here's the corner once more. Played out of touch.
Yeah, luckily for Waterhouse, Murray's finish wasn't the cleanest in terms of strikes. It still was heading on target, but it gave Foster an opportunity.
Didn't have this thing that he really,
yeah,
I'm sure, should have put on it.
Miscued for sure, Adane Murray. Adane Murray, who was based in Clarendon all along, actually initially was playing for Humble Lion, then went in the transfer market to Mount Pleasant, and not consistent game time, so they have decided to loan him to Vere United, and they certainly could do with the help. Vere. That would have been a great opportunity for him there to get on the score sheet. Not often he's in those goal scoring positions, Murray. But yeah, Vere, who as we said are now at 417 minutes without scoring, could have really done with that kind of lead early in the match. Still very safe with 19 points in 10th position, Vere. No worries of being relegated when you see that Treasure Beach and Lime Hall have 8 and 7 respectively, so there's no way they're going to make up 11 points with just 9 games to go.
Positive result.
And in fact for them, 8 games to go for them. So, yeah.
As I was saying, positive result yesterday for Treasure Beach.
The draw against Dumble Holding. Romario O'Brien with the goal there. And then Nicholas Nelson finally breaking his scoreless run. Nicholas Nelson getting his 7th of the season. Yeah, Dumble Holding might have looked at that as a missed opportunity for 3 points against the Treasure Beach team. Change in administration, struggling in relegation. But yeah, big point for them. And with Malines earning a draw, they have maintained that 8-point gap, Malines. I just think, not to sound negative, but I think it's too much to ask for Treasure Beach and Lime Hall based on the points that they would have to make up. And based on Malines' form of recent, I expect them to get more points.
Yeah. So, another look at the save from Kemar Foster.
Yeah, just look at it here. That defending there was not the best, but hey, Murray did get the strike on target.
Great save that from Foster. Download the SportsMax app today. Get it on the Google Play or the App Store and watch all the content available on the SportsMax app. Downloads are for free, so get it today and keep abreast of all the sporting action for your viewing pleasure. Blair takes the throw to resume play. Here's Thomas, gets it to Blair. Gave it away rather cheaply, and Blair trying to go the other way. Beckford trying to do the slip around. Has a lot of work to chase Matthews, but he plays it away easily. Jamar Dallas in some trouble. Ball coming to the way of Beckford. Very close there. Hamilton not having any of the talk of Beckford and Javon Smith. Hoping that the call perhaps would have gone their way, but it's a free kick for Waterhouse. The player still down. Elvis Wilson. Medical attention being given to Wilson. Using the time for a team talk is Waterhouse. Fletcher and Booth certainly being vocal in that mix of things. Kamar Foster, the elder statesman, of course, voicing his own opinion as well. Smiles and greetings from Marcel Gale. Can his team go back into the top 6 today? Here they come, Vere. Cohen stripped of possession rather easily. Booth. Mitchell to Blair. Mitchell playing it forward now for Blair. He was fouled.
Yeah, that Hamilton goes to her pocket. The card is out. That was a definite foul and probably a needed one as Blair was going to head into the box. That was poor from Murray. Did have eyes on the ball, Murray, but just can't swing like that, so rightfully in the book. He's still feeling the effects, but it won't save him from the yellow card.
Not bad in the way of support or spectators for the early kickoff. Of course, Waterhouse, they definitely carry their crowd. And the early arrival of Mount Pleasant definitely brings a buzz across the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. They are watching.
Yeah, no surprise that they're here already, of course, travelling from the north coast. Mount Pleasant, the parish of St. Anne, the Garden Parish. Rather to be here early, taking the proceedings relax before their match, especially as it gets later. There will be a traffic issue.
24th minute of play. Ivana Blair standing behind this one. Andre Fletcher, perhaps the comptroller, giving him directions as to where to send the delivery. Blair in the area on the back post. The header was on. Brian! Oh, saved from the line. Roger Williams doing well there, and it's still not cleared. But finally, Rivaldo Mitchell. Oh, he has really come of age and come alive. Number 31 for Waterhouse. He has been their man in the most recent games, Rivaldo Mitchell. And again, he's on the score sheet. Of course, Brian would have almost gotten one there had it not been for the brilliance of Roger Williams. But take nothing, he was where he needed to be.
Blair into the box at first. Yeah, good save, Roger Williams. Just came to Mitchell though, and well snuck into the near post. Good delivery by Navarra Blair, asking question it was kept alive, and then Javine Bryan, he was about to celebrate, thought he had scored. Roger Williams had other ideas, and so too did Mitchell. Was it Javier Brown on the line trying to keep it out? Just look at it here. Yes, Javier Brown would be disappointed that that left foot wasn't strong enough to keep it out from the near post. But Mitchell, finding form, as we said, he's now added goals to his repertoire. And because of that, so much more dangerous this Waterhouse attack, with goals coming from either flank. Fletcher and now Mitchell.
Can Vere respond quickly? Bonk. Came to, that was Lamar Neal. Tried the early shot, but Kamar Foster able to handle that one. They go the other way, Waterhouse.
Been struggling with injury. Lamar Neal is that influential kind of player for this Vere team. And as you could see, almost immediately through the center of the park, which is where they have those two big main men missing, Binns and Simpson. That is where Vere looking to do some damage, and nearly did through Neal. But yeah, the woes for Vere continue at the back. Just uncertainty in the defense line. And again, conceding needless goals. It just wasn't defended from the set piece delivery.
So many Waterhouse players had room even for an
Four
overhead kick.
Waterhouse, yeah, attempts before it actually went in.
Waterhouse faithful, you hear them in the mics, the crowd mics. Here's Bryan, doing well. Still Bryan. Oh my. Does have a shot in him. Unable to get that one inside the frame.
Spoke to him in yesterday's matches here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, and he spoke about his eagerness to get more goals and how it's such a joy and privilege to now be playing in the Premier League, when he used to come to Alnwick Gardens to watch Premier League football previously. Played in Tier 2 last season, did Javine Bryan, and that was really good skill. Should have hit the target based on his form. And unfortunately for him, over the top, but good to see him turning the Vere defence inside out.
Dunstan to Beckford, a coin to Beckford. Trying to be kept alive by Howe.
John
Beckford
from
keep it
side
alive.
to side.
Releasing Murray.
Corner given, that's a bit of a surprise to me. I thought it was a miscued strike by Beckford, by Murray, who was just under pressure. Murray was a little bit late coming forward. That's something that Vere need to do more of. Murray needs to get in his overlapping skills a lot more often to provide the width, because Beckford was forced to pull wide because of that. And the pass was going from Beckford to Howe on the opposite end, and then back to Beckford. Not really the most attacking style of play, or efficient.
Cohen with the kick. Has some height in it. Matthews able to clear for Waterhouse. Gives up a throw. Light matters. Will be taken quickly by Howe. And Captain Brown. Still Brown in possession. Ball played forward for Cohen, doing well there. Can he spark? Gets it across the Binns. Binns was trying to return it in the area. He really should have taken a shot there, did Damien Binns. Gets the corner kick though, but not showing the kind of clinical finishing abilities that I'm sure Inval Dixon ruse.
Yeah, again, Waterhouse though facing the wrong direction, almost running back towards Kamar Foster. Not the way you want to defend. You want to be facing the attacker.
Here's a corner kick. Headed away by Bryan. Still alive though, Neal. Cohen. Trying to shake Blair. Gets it. Almost got it across. Bryan doing some good defensive work there. And now they're able to break. Mitchell slips it for Bryan. Oh yeah, this is looking good. His pass was poor. Cut out now. Here's Vere. That first touch really let down Javon Smith, and Shamari Dallas trying to hold him at bay.
And
Hamilton.
Hamilton saying a little bit too physical for her liking. It was a good tussle though on that far side. Lots of tugging going on, but obviously in that kind of region, the defender always going to have the advantage in terms of that.
Matthews boots that one forward, headed away by Ludford.
Still based on what we've seen so far, I know Vere lacking in confidence in terms of goals and this fixture in itself, but I like their chances of getting a really good opportunity for a goal. As to whether Waterhouse will get more and if Vere can stay with them, well, fine, but I do think that Vere will create some opportunities just because of this weakened spine for Waterhouse, and we've seen so far where Vere have found themselves with space. And of course, with a player like Beckford in that front line, a man who scored 60 Premier League goals in his career, just the kind of player who can hurt Waterhouse.
Here's Fletcher. He was offside though. Pacey players Andre Fletcher. Unable to check the lines well there. Strong. Here they come. Great space for Cohen. Can he shoot from distance? Good defensive work that. Has to be both played forward now, but cannot once more. Brown doing well just to shimmy and release his Cohen. Can he keep it in? Perhaps could have tried a bit harder.
Yeah, but that chance previously for Cohen, slow in terms of rotation, the Waterhouse defence, and Cohen had a lot of space on the right-hand side, but just took too long to make up his mind. Decided to take a touch, then wait, and by the time he wanted to shoot, it was easily blocked. Had to be a little bit more decisive. Maybe that first touch should have taken him into the box to close the angle on the defender, so he would have definitely have got the shot. But then, as I said, just another example of Vere opening them up.
Throw in for Vere. Fletcher gave it away after he did well to keep possession alive for Waterhouse. Had a bit of a miscommunication between himself and Bernardo Thomas. Here's Williams trying to play it out. He does get it out into the half of Waterhouse, but headed back into the Vere half. Beckford doing well to gain possession for Vere. Thomas has a silky smooth aura about him when he's on the ball, does Thomas. Chibison sending that one forward. Get in the air, Brian. Oh, he got his legs in a bundle there. Has a smile about it. He knows that his time is coming, I'm sure. The other way now, Lamar Neal trying to chip it forward for Beckford, but too much on that one.
Yeah, that's a really bad miss though by Javane Bryant. Almost what you would see from a forward who is not confident, who has lost his confidence. Wanted to kick it first time, which was probably the right option. Decided to take a touch, and then, yeah, the touch just wasn't good enough. Couldn't sort out his feet, and Roger Williams got the time to recover. Should never have been able to recover though, Roger Williams. And that is the player for Waterhouse that you would want in that kind of position, Javane Bryan, a 10-goal man this season. Well, even the best of them do make mistakes in the front line. You just have to come again. Just too easy though, from a Linville Dixon and Vere perspective, how they were exposed, especially on the left-hand side of their defence.
Acrobatic kick from Thomas to try to clear. Here's Vere. Smith. Poor attempt that from the captain, Javier Brown. Waterhouse is happy to play it easily at the back, attract some amount of pressure and break the lines easily, and they're doing that, some measure of precision at the moment. Dallas tries to go long now. Roger Williams will be equal to this one. Waterhouse regaining possession after that miscued one. Pass. Here's Mitchell. Has the ability to get by players. Does well to get it to Blair. Gets it across. Had a deflection on its way to Williams, but he handles it well, releases it. Here's Howe. Nathaniel Howe gets it to Neal. Murray. He has to go all the way back to Thomas. Poor control from Brown. Here's Fletcher and Bryan together. Good pass from Fletcher to Jibison. Jibison barged into the hand of Javier Brown. Perhaps was hoping that Odette Hamilton would have heard or seen his entreaty. Nothing doing, says the referee. Neal. Murray. Strawn loses possession to Jibison. Bryan doing well to keep it alive. Here's Fletcher. Only has one player really to beat. Fletcher forced wide. Can't release Mitchell. Still Fletcher chooses to go by himself. Goes wide. And didn't have the cross in his legs.
I don't think he was really... I think initially outside of the 18 he was looking for a shot, Andre Fletcher. Forced to go wide and then got the cross wrong. I can't believe that he would have gone for goal from that angle in the end, but just wonder from a Vere perspective why he was allowed to just continue running. Fletcher.
Was a Salter.
It's been a strange first half, it must be said. Yes, Waterhouse have the goal, but haven't really been impressed with their play, and they haven't stamped their authority by any means in this first half.
Howe stripping Thomas of possession. Beckford was trying to thread that one through. Smith. Howe. Neal. Chipping it forward. Cohen. Wasn't really on the same page as Neal. Didn't anticipate that chip.
Yeah, when Lamar Neal is in the middle for Vere United, things tend to happen. He can see the bigger picture. And himself and Javier Brown have a good understanding, the captain. Javier Brown tends to sit a little bit deeper. And Neal then allowed to roam in the middle of the park. And I think Vere United have always said that they are a better team when both are playing together. One always seems to be injured though, and hence the teamwork doesn't happen pretty often. But yeah, again, intelligent pass from Neal, but the youngster not on the same wavelength. Just wonder if they can include Beckford now and make it a trio.
Here they come, Waterhouse. Mitchell has the sole goal of the encounter. He's trying to go for goal. What a fumble there!
Off the hand of Fletcher, it seemed. That was, yeah, lackadaisical from Roger Williams. Poor. And Fletcher goes into the yellow card, so into the book, so it's a deliberate handball by Andre Fletcher then, is what Odette Hamilton is saying. It looked as if it just rebounded off of him, but she's saying, no, you put out your hand and purposely tried to put it into the goal, which he did. Deceptively so. Here's the strike from Mitchell. This should have been routine for Williams. Well, was that deliberate? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. That's why I thought on that angle it can be interpreted as such. Perhaps not deliberate in my book whatsoever, though. But
I don't think that's deliberate. I think Fletcher was trying to get his hand up, but I'm not sure. If Fletcher was trying to score with a hand, I think the motion would have been a forward motion, almost like a slap.
But it could be argued that just keeping your hand with the momentum that you have from your body moving forward,
making yourself bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
Fair enough.
Either way, Vere speared. Roger Williams speared, blushes even more so. Here's another look at it. This angle.
I guess Andre Fletcher blocking the path of the ball so that Williams couldn't get it out.
Well, no hand of God there for Fletcher. Harborview also on hand, ready for their encounter against Mount Pleasant. Coach of Lions, Jermaine Thomas, there having a chat with a few functionaries within the football landscape, journalists and coaches as well. Throw in the way of Waterhouse. 4 minutes of time to be added on to the first half. We're in the first of that 4. Mitchell being hounded by Murray. Murray already having a yellow card. Blair with the delivery, has a swing on it, missed again by Williams. It's a corner kick. Taken shot by Fletcher to Mitchell. Can whip it in the area now, he does. Bryan headed it to goal. Played away, Bryan will keep it alive for Waterhouse. Blair has a good range of passes, does Blair. We've seen some good quality deliveries from him. Perhaps that one a bit off tilt. How? Brown trying to get it across to Beckford, but played away. Ball play forward for Bryan. In glory land is Bryan. Still Bryan. Hasn't really been the most clinical today. Has Javin Bryan. Mitchell, though, keeps it alive, sends it wide. Jibison trying to outrun Howe.
Yeah, poor football all round. Javin Bryan inside the area, lacking confidence. But then the Vere defenders backing off of him and allowing him the space to do what he wanted to do. I thought that was poor defending, but Javin Bryan has to be a little bit more decisive as a striker inside the area. Take responsibility, take on that defender since they are backing off, and get a shot on target. That pass he was trying, yeah, and that was a wrong decision.
Yeah, it really was.
Not sure who it was on the far side, but they were marked and would have been in a more defensive position than attacking. So, not the best end to the first half for Waterhouse.
Neil, here's Beckford. Not sure who he thought was on that side, but Adet Hamilton has seen enough of the first half. Waterhouse versus Vere United, and the goal coming courtesy of Rivaldo Mitchell after a delivery from Nevada player. Saw 4 attempts on goal and a few saves made by Roger Williams, and finally It was turned home by Rivaldo Mitchell. Javane Bryan had the initial shot, but still hasn't been able to put one in the back of the net. A lot to talk about for that man. A lot to consider after his attempt was disallowed for a handled ball. But at the half, Vere United trail Waterhouse by a goal to nil.
The home of champions. Yeah, it's full of action. The Champions League on SportsMax 2. RB Leipzig come up against Real Madrid live on Tuesday at 3 p.m. in Jamaica 4 in the Eastern Caribbean. No one has won the Champions League more times than Real Madrid. Paris Saint-Germain are looking for their hold on the Champions League as well. It's on SportsMax 2. They come up against Real Sociedad from Spain on Wednesday. So too on Wednesday at 3 p.m. 4 in the Eastern Caribbean. Bayern Munich take on Lazio from Italy. Bayern Munich looking to, get some form, get a positive result after their 3-0 drubbing by Bayer Leverkusen in the league. That was a big statement by Xavi Alonso and company. And Bayern Munich, pedigree team, they'll be looking to do something in the Champions League. The JPL on SportsMax 2 live tonight. Our second match in the Monday Night Football fixture at 7:30 p.m. in Jamaica, 8:30 in the Eastern Caribbean. The Stars of the East, Harbour View, they take on the defending champions, Mount Pleasant. That will be a blockbuster of a match right here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex in Arnett Gardens. Here at half-time, Waterhouse, they lead Vere United by a goal to nil. Rivaldo Mitchell, the scorer, after just some 24 minutes. The first half, which lacked quality. Dean Smith and both teams, I think, coming out of the dressing room will be hoping for a better showing. There's Rivaldo Mitchell, 3 goals on the season, 3 goals in 4 matches for him. But yeah, his team, even though they created the best opportunities, they didn't fully dominate the Vere unit.
Yeah, you definitely expect so much more from a Javane Bryan. Had some of the better chances one-on-one with the keeper, just needing to beat the keeper on other instances, unable to get his footing right. Yeah, you don't expect that from a 10-goal man, though in his first season at the top flight of Jamaican football, when you've set the standard so high for yourself, leading the league, and that he did quite a few match weeks ago, you know, you expect so much more. So when he strikes, when he's unsung, he really sings, but when he's off, yeah, there's a level of dissonance and a pitch correction needed.
Yeah, Javane Bryan, still a lot of time to go. Ludlow Bernard in the house. He does battle later on, head coach of Harbour View. But yeah, Javane Bryan, who would have played for Med Forest in Tier 2 last season, fresh into the Premier League and starting with a bang. But there are times throughout the season where sometimes a striker does fall a bit off of form. We saw Justin Dunn go quite a few match weeks without scoring. He scored in the 2-0 win against Humber Lion yesterday. Bryan has had inconsistencies as well, so not a surprise. But yeah, he'll be hoping to make up for that really good opportunity he had in the first half, where all he needed was a good first touch. And I'm sure Roger Williams could do nothing about the finish after that.
Getting ready for second half action. I did Hamilton with the whistle. Sends it off as the music has to cease. Of course, if you're just joining, Waterhouse in blue and yellow. Vere in green and yellow. Here's Fletcher. That one through for Bryan. Got the shot off on target, but he was offside. And I wonder if it is that he doesn't score in this match after having those glorious chances, would that affect his confidence? Personally, I'm not sure it would, but these things can affect the psyche of especially a striker that the number one metric you have is the goals you score, especially from the opportunities you get.
You have some players, it depends on the player as well, of course. Some players bounce back from disappointments quickly. Even in the game, they miss 5 chances and they're still coming at you. You have some players that they miss 1 chance or 2 chances and it puts a damper on their confidence. You can see a miscontrol by Brian again. So it all depends on him. He generally does play with a smile on his face. He's probably, I think, I'm not sure he would have envisioned this amount of goals at this point in the season, his first Premier League season. So maybe he's even outdone himself to an extent. I think based on his personality and character, though, that he'll be back and ready for the next game.
Yeah, I think so too. But it was a question worth asking. Here's how.
For sure.
Valder Mitchell. A bit of a tussle there with Dane Murray. Takes a throw, does Murray. Turning is a Smith. Hasn't had the best of relationships with Odette Hamilton in this game, has Javon Smith. Has remonstrated at quite a few occasions. And for the most part, Odette Hamilton perhaps has been right. Kick for Waterhouse. Nevada Blair, the recipient of that flailing arm. Bit of conversation there with the 4th official, Carvel Banton, and the Vere United players. Kick taken by Waterhouse, booted upfield. Waterhouse still in possession. Here's Thomas. Chipping it forward for Fletcher. Fletcher is in a prime position, but his shot was an odd number.
Again, though, wrong decision from Fletcher. Why would you shoot from that kind of angle? It would only be a mistake by Roger Williams that would allow that in. Fletcher should have been looking for a pass there. Had Gibson as well as Brian inside the box. Can't say that they really gave much options. If you look at how they were positioned, they were both in a straight line, so one pass would have taken care of both. Instead of one maybe almost creating a triangle method with one backing off towards the penalty spot.
Here's Cohen.
That's another thing that throughout the Premier League it's been noticeable, that the crosses a lot of times are just hopeful. They don't pick out a player a lot of times, many of the teams.
Yeah.
They just run down the flank and then cross it in and hope for the best. But I think that's a part of Jamaican football and Caribbean football that needs to improve. And even in terms of how forwards approach the 18-yard era, how they run, instead of constantly running, some of the times you have to check just to give the player a target.
Here's Vere, still trying to come forward. Cohen skipped and gave the opportunity for Waterhouse to clear, but it's still not away and clear for them. Here's Lamar Neal for Vere. Being hounded, keeps on his feet, gets the call finally. Taken, almost trying to take it quickly, does get it across the Strawn. How? Cohen darts down the sideline, straight in the arms of Kemar Foster. Good work from Mitchell, stripping Murray of possession. He's hoping for the call, waited and does get the corner kick though off Murray, but the kind of quality that you expect, yeah, it's really been absent. Leaves a lot to be desired, Chris Taylor. That All too familiar.
Big game for Waterhouse though. 3 points here would take them back into a top 6 position. They would leapfrog Dublin Holding with 26 points. 2 ahead now of Dublin Holding, who, as you said, drew against Treasure Beach. So further breathing room or an opportunity to add a little space between themselves and Dublin Holding in that 6th, 7th positions in the table. Arnett Gardens, who is in 5th, still has a 10-point gap on Dublin Holding, who is in 6th. So no threat of any of the top 5 being overtaken for now. And 10 points, a pretty big gap.
Call there going the way of Vere after Beckford was brought down. Not a bad position at all for a strike. Howe is there, has had some strikes at the schoolboy level. Nathaniel Howe favored to take this one as he lines it up. Can he outsmart the experienced goalkeeper Kemar Foster? Brown stands behind him as a chaperone. Take it in short, left to Brown, and that was poor, his final attempt.
Something from the training ground for Vere. I just think the pass rushed on to Javier Brown a little bit too quickly, and so he was actually late with a strike, hence how far he skewed it wide. Foot not able to come through in time because the ball had actually crunched in for space.
Vere being forced to defend now. Fletcher. Played that one out of touch. It's another throw in. Neal takes it. Thomas for Waterhouse. Under pressure, loses possession. Here's Howe trying to slip it through. Javon Smith unable to keep it in his wings. Thomas loses possession. Here's Neal. He showed a bit too much of that one. Still alive for Vere. Beckford forcing a save, and the follow-up saved again by Foster. It's still alive though. Thomas just poking that one in the area, and Foster is down and treatment needed. 2 saves in quick succession. Beckford with the original strike. Another look at it. Good save.
Yeah, good double save by Foster. Can't really see why he was injured there, Foster. Maybe he just wanted to break the momentum of Vere. But yeah, Kemar Beckford knows about goal scoring. That was a good acrobatic attempt as well from Dunstan Cohen on the second attempt. Both were straight at Kemar Foster for the most part. 2 saves you'd expect him to make. But yeah, he was back up early after the first strike. Not sure what would have caused the injury to Foster. It seemed like a pretty routine save for a keeper of his quality. I'm sure he'll be back up in no time.
Shot of the few of some of the spectators here in hand. Marching band.
Just
Vere in possession. Lamardine tried to fire first time. He missed that one totally. Waterhouse putting it forward. Brian giving chase for Jay Williams, able to hold on. Did have some fumbles in the first half for Jay Williams. Here's Vere with Neal. Ludford. Brown. Neal. Releases Cohen. Gets by Dallas, does Cohen. Can he deliver? Telling one. In the air, yeah, oh my. Almost there, converted. Looked to have been by Smith, but Foster equal to the task once more.
Slowing getting up yet again, Kemar Foster. Good save low down to the right-hand side. Looked as if he was leaning left at first and then had to change direction. Good save. Nice move though from the Denby schoolboy, Dunstan Cohen.
Waterhouse trying to create some magic of their own. And no dove would be flying out of a hat for that one. Here's Vere. Have been a bit more purposeful early in this half. Vere. Can they get something for all their efforts? Waterhouse perhaps will have other intentions, especially through this man Brian. Howe shown the yellow card.
Just wonder if it's about that time for someone like Dean Andre Thomas, who has a lot of experience playing for Dunbar Holding. This was the last opportunity for Vere United. Cohen doing well, getting past Dallas, and he had a good low down save there from Foster. You could just see him going left initially, Foster. He probably thought he was going to go across him, the finish. But yeah, got down well. Yeah, a player like Thomas, who does know about goal scoring and scoring critical goals. Still yet to score one in a green shirt, but could he be the answer?
Here's Neal. Under pressure. Gets the call after Fletcher barged into him.
Maybe even a talented youngster in Jaheim Harris as well, who could bring some width to just try something different there. There's Lorenzo Lewin on the bench, who scored twice already this season. Lewin, albeit in a Treasure Beach shirt, scored one of the goals of the season at Stadium East a few weeks ago. He's another impact player from the wide areas. So they have options, do Vere United.
Good work from Brian in the heart of the defense. Playing it off. A Vere player for a throw-in for Waterhouse.
Players warming up. There is Jaheim Harris in the number 11. But also warming up is Sacklin Wall.
Jameson there just showing too much, and they are able to go the other way now. Cohen. Beckford to Brown. Howe. Still Howe was trying to get it to Beckford, could have fired from that distance. Brian now going the other way for Waterhouse.
Especially because it was bouncing nice for him on the volley.
Yeah. Fletcher. Cohen there completing the nutmeg, as we call it, a salad in Jamaica. Was fouled at the end of that sequence. Here's the 18-year-old. Fouled by Dallas. Waterhouse contingent on hand didn't agree. Taken quickly. Good defensive clearance, that. Strong. Cohen whips it in the area. Headed away, but comes only to Javier Brown, the captain. Beckford trying to be evasive. Does manage to do that. His pass to Strong was a bit beyond him, but he was already offside. What's in my cup stays in my cup. What's in your phone stays in your phone. When you download the SportsMax app, get it on the Google Play or the Apple App Store, and watch Jamaica Premier League action. Premier League in Trinidad and Tobago, and so many other sporting events and leagues in different disciplines as well. WTA tennis. It's all there on the SportsMax app. Players warming up for Vere. Foster needing some amount of treatment still. Waterhouse trying to get out of pressure, but here's Howe trying to keep it alive for Vere. Waterhouse with Brian now goes the other way. Good hold-up play by Brian. Now releases Jibison. Jibison is through on goal. Doesn't get the most powerful shot. But Jay Williams able to play it out now. And Vere wasted no time to press forward. Gave it away cheaply, though, did they. Beckford trying to work hard, but still in the possession of Waterhouse. Brian to Thomas. Strong did well. Here's Neil. Beckford. Pass from Brown to Howes, cut out by Janada Thomas. As acres of real estate. The attempted cross cut out by Nathaniel Howe. And it's a throw-in.
Stewart comes on for Jibison. Waterhouse deciding to make a change. And yeah, here's a couple of changes for Vere United, who really need to have a change in personnel. They have decided to go with Wall and Harris. Sacklane Wall, kind of versatile, can play in the attacking midfield role, could play as one of the forwards as well. Generally plays central positions though.
Here's Vere. Strong gave that away cheaply. Fletcher won't mind as he tries to string something together for Waterhouse. Thomas. To the goal scorer, Mitchell. Mitchell trying to turn on the styles a bit.
Slowing it down, Waterhouse. Keeping the ball, of course. Just about 20 minutes to go. Well, that wasn't a pass though from Mitchell. Even if there was a run being made, that would have been overhit. See these changes coming. I still would probably like to see maybe even a change in formation, even to take a chance, maybe go a 3-5-2 or even a 4-4-2. I would love to see Dean Andre Thomas operate with Kemar Beckford. I think with their experience and the fact that the spine of Waterhouse is weakened, that is where I'd be looking to do my damage. And I think with their experience, the amount of goals they've scored amongst them, that a partnership like that could be ideal for this game.
Fletcher, still Fletcher, charged down well by Thomas. Brown trying to break now for Vere. Yeah, they go now. Beckford plays it forward. Was trying to find Cohen, but that was cut out. Waterhouse with Brian on the ball. Enterprise involved. Still alive for Waterhouse. Getting it across. Also very close, almost turning to his own goal by Damian Thomas. Yeah, Fletcher was unhanded. If that hadn't been...
No, it's Fletcher actually who got the final touch and then puts up his hand as he can't believe that he's missed that. Nice ball from the wide area. Look at this from Fletcher. It did skew off the foot of Thomas, which probably threw off Fletcher as well. But yeah, he did get a touch as well, Fletcher. But it'd be a little hard to say that he should have definitely converted that. The trajectory of the ball slightly changed after the deflection, yeah. Almost for Fletcher, who is looking for goal number 7 on the season.
Here's Kamani Stewart, the substitute. Can he pick out Brian? Forced a bit wide. Still alive, gets it back in the area. Have to take some time to soak up what just happened, Chris Taylor. Overall, has been lacking in quality. Certainly not an awe-inspiring game at all. Throw in taken, Fletcher. Blair standing behind this one. Was a delivery from him that led to the goal for Waterhouse. In swinger, headed marginally away. Wilson played that one under touch, taken quickly. They lost possession as quickly as they took the throw. Here's Fletcher for Waterhouse. Neil. Ludford. Brian in stride, has Fletcher to his right. Pass to Fletcher was cut out right on time. Cohen. Neil releases the substitute Wall. Gets it across. Neil still trying to keep it under control, but has to go back to Murray. His attempted delivery was poor, low, and Stewart now able to go the other way for Waterhouse. Smart play that by Brian and kept alive by Mitchell. Gets a corner kick. Standing by for the SportsMax app moment, brought to you by the SportsMax app. Save in the first half by Kemar Foster after Dean Murray. From the corner from Dunstan Cohen. Really troubling Foster in goal. Didn't have perhaps all the greatest of power behind the strike, but it was definitely on target, and Foster had to dig deep and pull out a spectacular save. The SportsMax app moment.
Yeah, he's been the best player on the park in a game that has lacked quality. Kemar Foster with 3 important saves in this second half. And you remember the one in the first as well from off of Dane Murray, where he tipped it over the bar. Yeah. Definitely a bit of difference in a game that Waterhouse should have dominated, had the best chances initially, as we see Andre Leslie back in the frame for Waterhouse. He's been around for a long time. Leslie's played all his career at Waterhouse.
Here's a corner kick. Thomas. Handled easily by Roger Williams. Brian. Stewart. Fletcher under pressure, but navigates well. Brian's first touch let him down there. Vere able to play a bit more comfortably out from the back here. Sakwane Wall. Here's Booth for Waterhouse. Back to Wilson. Fletcher. Darts inside. Trying to release Brian. Brian was offside. Cohen. Can he spark some magic? Trying to twist and turn, but ran out of ideas. Here's Brian. Can he get by Ludford? Leslie. Trying to barge through, but a bit out of touch there. Brown sends it forward. Beckford. Can he get by? Good defending that by Elvis Wilson to have played out of touch. It's a throw in for Vere in the 80th minute of this encounter. Both teams just not showing the kind of quality you really want from a Monday night encounter.
Representing Football Jamaica Limited, PHJ, would like to thank many sponsors of the Jamaica Premier League JPL season 2023 to 24. Title sponsor Vere Media, SportsMax, Proven, Costa Oath, Game Group, Sagittor, Breaks Auto, Lasco, Quintet, Conservative, Just Bet Comics, Mount Pleasant, Massacre, Oil, and more. Medical services provided by Showtime.
More football in action, kind of later on SportsMax 2, Harbourview versus Mount Pleasant. Champions of the last 2 editions of the Jamaica Premier League square off in what is expected to be a cracking encounter here in the jungle.
Yeah, still not sure I agree with Linville Dixon's substitutions though, bringing on Wall and Harris alone. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for more experience, as I said, and look to change the formation. I'm not sure he really assessed the inadequacies in this Waterhouse team, and they have found opportunities. There's Dean Andre Thomas, who we spoke about earlier, who I thought should have been brought on to partner Beckford and really cause problems for the central defence of or the central areas generally of Waterhouse, which is where I think they're vulnerable. And in the first half especially, you saw moments where Vere had opportunities on top of the 18-yard with lots of space, didn't take them. Yes, the passes out wide have also found space, but I think where they could really have hurt Waterhouse was in those areas, especially with an uncertain defensive midfield area and centre-back area as well. And who better than 2 players who've had over 100 appearances each at this level. He's gone for more of the youth, Sacklin Wall on it now, plays, as you could see, in the centre of the park. Can play as an attacking midfielder, has played forward as well. But I'm not sure if in this game he was the answer. I would also might have gone for Lewin to play on the flank here, because Lewin is one of those players that is very direct, and he's so pacey that he could cause problems again for a back line that is changed. And yet those 2 players who have earmarked have not come on. That's a surprise for me.
Who knows what's in the mind of a coach when he makes certain decisions against the expectation of the fans and, of course, the analysts as well.
Well, I mean, he would obviously have his plans, as you say, A, B, C, or D, and he might be seeing a different picture. He was certainly seeing a different picture. Booth that went out of the picture.
Perhaps something that happened in another territory last evening. That kind of kick.
Of punt. Well, there is Lewin. So Lewin is brought on to replace Neil. Lewin more of a wide player. Actually, it's Lewin for Cohen, is it? So that's like for like. Lewin will go into the wide area, and Sujay Graham for Neil. Neil just coming back into the frame after injury, Lamar Neil, and we saw glimpses of what he could do in the first half, but he's looked a bit leggy in the second half, so no surprise with the change.
Here's Sujay Graham on the ball, gets it to Strawn. Strawn's first touch wasn't the best, but all's well that ends well. Still in possession. Here's Brown. Morris still not providing that extra man up front through the overlap at all.
Graham has scored a couple of goals this season as well, so very willing to get into that 18-yard box.
Lewin.
And even in that kind of situation, you could say, I think that Strawn was come wide. I wouldn't come wide to block the area. I would allow Lewin to go one-on-one in that kind of situation because of his pace and his ability. Leave Lewin wide to run at the player, be direct, and then hope that he finds that pass, that angle pass into the box to create a chance. Anyhow, they have a free kick.
Harris on the ground, spill, but still not converted.
Offside, is it? Is it offside? Good strike here. That was an excellent second save. Spilled it initially. There's a lot of power behind it from Jaheim Harris, who has that talented left foot. And after Foster made the save, he spilled it. It was a good recovery by him because there was a second save. Bailed out in the end by the offside flag, but considering he spilled it initially, I thought that the second save was a really strong right hand from Kemar Foster. And in a game like this, those saves have proved very important because it could be the kind of game that Waterhouse need a clean sheet in.
Brown. Wall. Graham. Given away there, but favor return. Here's Damian Thomas. Beckford. Dropping a bit deeper is Kemar Beckford.
Yeah, looking to thread that pass.
Fletcher has been down for quite a while.
Not a head injury, so he's being ignored for now.
Kemar Foster bails him out.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with Foster. Just working the clock. Just about 2 minutes to go. Did see his teammate down, Andre Fletcher.
Here's a look at some of the saves from Foster. First one, the SportsMax at moment. Nadine Murray with the strike on target. Kemar Beckford in the second half. Then the follow-up by Dunstan Cohen. Double save that from Foster. And yeah, this one, courtesy of Beckford. Doing very well there. So easily he could have even put his head on the post, and so many dangerous outcomes could have come. But yeah, kept the ball out, kept his body safe, his frame safe as well. And it's a clean sheet so far for Waterhouse.
Nice package for Kemar Foster, and even since that package was put together, another telling save. First the block from Jaheim Thomas, did spill it, but then that second save with the right hand, because that was heading in. Another big moment for Waterhouse is number one. And in a game where his strikers have been off the mark for the most part, getting lots of opportunities and not converting, he certainly couldn't have had a droopy kind of performance by any means.
And perhaps the only player deserving of the man of the match even discussion.
Andre Fletcher goes off, so that injury is the last of it for him. Keneal Hyde is on.
Lewin. Still alive for Vere. Strong tripped up there by Keneal Hyde. Out of 9 minutes added to this second half of stoppages. A lot can happen in 9 minutes, Chris Taylor. And quite frankly, much of the same can happen as well. Graham. Lewin. Brown from distance. In the advertiser's board. It's Brown. Dane Murray. Paul.
And even with the type of game that Javane Bryan has had, he has still remained on the park for Waterhouse. Last time out, of course, against Vere, he had a hat-trick in that 4-1 win, but hasn't been as sharp today as in that match on the 19th of November. Peter Gould and family are here to take in the second match, which is his team, Mount Pleasant, coming up against the Stars of the East in Harbourview. Pretty impressive display last time out for Harbourview, scoring 4 goals, and a really good attacking display from them. Joshua Anglin was the man of the match in the middle of the park. There he is, their number 7. Did concede and give up 2 goals later on, and at that point Harbourview had rung the changes and they didn't really keep the same level of intensity, made the match look a lot closer than it really was. But Ludlow Bernard, especially in that second half, what a display it was from his Harbourview team. That shot on target too. And Roger Williams made it look acrobatic, but pretty simple for a keeper of his quality. Former FIFA referee Keeble Williams, FIFA assistant referee. Always a big supporter of the Jamaica Premier League. On the right,
Fifth minute of added time. Will Waterhouse consolidate? Or will there be late drama? Well, at the end of this one, if it remains as is, it will be 499 minutes without scoring a goal. Perhaps if you add what happened was added on in the first half, it would be 503.
The wait continues for Vere United. Wow. And they've had a couple moments today, but Kimar Foster has been on his A game. That's a free kick.
Very close in the area there.
Yeah, lots of officials in the house. There's Keeble Williams, right of screen. Former FIFA assistant referee. Does play Masters League as well for Real Mona, so still involved in the game big time, Keeble Williams. We also have referee assessor and former FIFA central referee Courtney Campbell in the house as well. Great to
Assessing
see
the
it.
team of commentators, perhaps.
Maybe we might have to ask for his expert analysis. But yeah, great to see the officials of all levels here to support the Premier League as well. Quite a few not necessarily involved at this level in the game still. But yeah, showing their support.
Here's Lorenzo Louis. Still alive with Louis. Gets it in a nice area for Wall. Beckford tries to get it across. Strawn is on hand. Still some moments. Graham, the substitute. Brown. Pushed perhaps the wrong side of Beckford. He was trying to connect back with Brown. Should be a corner kick. As a throw. Looks like a corner kick from my angle, but so says the assistant referee. Beckford. Didn't get it through. Jay Williams in the center circle. Can he strike from distance? Leaves it for Wall. Gets the call as Beckford was trying to scoop that one over the top. There was a handle on that ball. Wasted kick there. Blair able to play it out, but not very far. Lorenzo Lewin has been busy since he's come on. Waterhouse trying to run down the clock. Whistle can go at any moment now. Stewart. Played that one out of the touch. Wall has to be the final bit of play here in this encounter. Oh, he gave it away cheaply. Oh, Foster again. A snapshot from Lewin. And finally, Bennett Hamilton blows the final whistle. Danger at the death for Waterhouse, but they survive. It's not a drowning attempt in this encounter for them. Really wasn't a game of the maximum quality that you'd expect, but Waterhouse managed to get away with the win at the death. Lorenzo Lewin striking there, and Kemar Foster, as he has done all game, coming up trumps for Waterhouse. He's the man of the match. He's been patched up, but it's been a good performance for him, and the Waterhouse defensive line has been speared blushes. Linval Dixon, a lot to think about for him. They continue 503 minutes without scoring a goal, and Waterhouse back in the top six. Full-time score, Waterhouse 1, Vere 0. Full-time highlights. Sunshine for this kickoff, and Waterhouse had the strike early. Roger Williams able to hold on to that one. Dunson Coyne with its corner kick, forcing a great save after Dane Murray got a foot to it. And Kemar Foster coming up trumps. The goal would come from this passage of play. Headed back in the area, an attempted bicycle kick. Javian Bryan with a strike. Dallas there as well. And Rivaldo Mitchell getting the final touch, beating goalkeeper Roger Williams, the sole goal of the afternoon. Here's another look at it, and Mitchell, 3 goals in 4 games for the man who's come alive in the most recent fixtures for Waterhouse, showing the quality that even from a youth was evident. Rivaldo Mitchell with the goal in this matchup. Here he comes again, and that shot spilled. Fletcher was on hand, literally. Second half action now. Beckford with a strike. Foster equal to the task. Cohen too was denied by Foster. And again, Beckford would test Foster. He had to go low to his right and parry that one away. Here again, strike from the substitute Harris. Saved by the keeper initially. And he really had to dig deep to keep Waterhouse with the lead. Dying moments. Lorenzo Lewin, the substitute, testing Foster. At the depth, they could have drowned Waterhouse. But Annette Hamilton was a lifeguard in hand to spare them blushes. Full-time stats. 7 shots on target from 11 attempts, 6 from 13 for Waterhouse. 26 fouls in this encounter, 2 yellow cards to Vere, 1 for Waterhouse. Fletcher with that handled attempt, 5 offside, 3 to Waterhouse. 13 corners. Waterhouse had 4 in a row in one instance. They had 9 of the 13. 12 saves made, 7 for Kemar Foster. What a performance he had. The majority of the possession with Vere, but they have no goals. Waterhouse with the sole goal in this encounter as we go to Chris Taylor.
Kemar, on a night where Waterhouse were not at their best, you certainly had to come up trumps for them. How difficult a match was that for you?
Yeah, it was very difficult tonight, as you see. We never functioning well in the midfield. We think we give up too much space for Vere to play, and they did play. Once they give them space to play, they will hurt you. But fortunate, we come up with a clean sheet. So
some changes in the defensive midfield and the back line for you. No Keith Simpson, no Damian Binns, and that kind of exposed you even more.
Yes, you know, Binns is out on injury, Keithy as well, so the youngsters have to step up, and I think Christopher did a good job today, so I have to congrats to him for his first game, and I think he'll do a fair good.
You're not quite an old boy, but you might be an old boy in this unit. After being called upon so much in this kind of a match, with so much stunning saves, what kind of toll does that take on you, and what's the recovery like as a goalkeeper?
It's rough, you know, to be honest. It's rough. You have to stay focused every time after a game like this, and the recovery have to be very, very good. Ice bath, rest when you get the time to rest, and then you have to hit back the ground training hard as possible.
Would you rank this as the best performance of this season for you so far?
To be honest, yes. It's quite the great one I have so far. So I hope I have many more to come. The season is long, so I hope so.
Congrats on your performance, Kemar. Get some rest, enjoy that ice bath, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Kemar Foster there, player of the game for Waterhouse, and Waterhouse earning yet another clean sheet. Linval Dixon now comes into the frame. Linval, I must say, it's almost 500 minutes since Vere United have found a goal in open play. Is that disturbing for you?
I know, definitely disturbing for us, you know, because we've been working really hard in training to score, because, of course, as you say it, you know, 4 or 5 games, you know, we don't score a goal. So it's called for concern. You know, but all in all, you know, we're still working on it, and we're still fighting really hard, you know, but we come up against a national goalkeeper, you know, and, you know, he was the difference today.
Not really the direction you want to be going in the table, yet there's no real threat of relegation. When you analyze the performances, yes, you came up against a strong Kemar Foster. Is that where you thought you fell short today?
Well, definitely, because I tell you, maybe a little bit more composure really in front of the goal, you know, we could have get 1 or 2, you know, but when you're not scoring and you know, sometimes you get the chance, you know, really you never compose yourself, you know, to score, you know, but I can't complain for effort today. If the effort was really good from the back line to the top of the field, you know. But again, you know, we're not scoring, and as I said, you know, we're most concerned about it, and we'll continue work, you know, because we know when we start to score, you know, things will start to happen for us.
keep working hard, Linval. We know that Vere always strive for excellence, so we look forward for positive results in the weeks to come.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Linval Dixon, former national player, former captain and head coach of this Vere United team. Another loss for them as they struggle. 5 losses in 6 games for Linval Dixon. And Waterhouse, Damian Gordon and company, just too much for them in the end. And Damian, definitely not a fluent performance for Waterhouse, but at the end of it, an ugly win better than a pretty loss.
It's the big FAQ, you know, in terms of our consistency. I thought that first half was very good. I thought that we should have ended the game in the first half, but football is 2 halves. I think they were better than us in the second half, clearly. But I mean, in terms of our defensive structure, I think we did well tonight.
And with some key players out, how would you assess the adjustment? Obviously, Damian Binns, Nicoy Christian, as well as Keith Simpson. 3 senior players, 3 experienced players. Do you think that exposed your squad a lot more and something for you to think about with a lot more important games to come?
I mean, not much so, you know. If you look in terms of the chances that we created in the first half, most teams in the league will put away those chances. And that's the difference between us and the other teams in front of us. Once we get that correct, we should be all right. But I mean, those players are staples of this team. But again, we have some good players working with, and we just have to encourage them.
Back in 6th position, talk to me about what you think would be going through the head of a Javane Bryan, for example, who, as you said, scored a hat-trick last time out against them, but now coming into this game, lots of misses. How does that affect the psyche?
I mean, it's just...
Is there a dip in confidence, in other words?
Yeah, it's not a confidence thing, it's just the momentum of this team. And I think he's shouldering a lot of responsibility. But we just have to encourage him. Good player, quality. He has shown us that, and he has taken his chances very well in terms of this league. But I think tonight, he was a little bit off. So, next game, hopefully he can convert those chances.
All right, Damian, congrats for getting back into the playoff spots and keep the work up.
Thank you.
Not the greatest performance for Waterhouse, but they managed to get the win ahead of Vere United, who continue their struggle. Perhaps they'll be safe from the relegation zone, but Waterhouse, they move into 6th as we wrap it up here from the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex for the first of 2 games in this doubleheader.